Okay, we're on.
We'll go ahead and start the meeting with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for being here. I wanted to let you know I just got a thing from the health department, or I'm sorry, from ESDA. We've had 25, let me make sure I've got this right. We've had 25 tested, 22 come back negative, and 3 are pending. So we do not have an official case in this county yet. Okay? Public comment? Hearing none. Sam, you want to give your report if you have one, and then you're welcome to stay, but that way you can boogie if you need to.
Review is March's report for EMS. March was a really busy month for us. 150 911s doesn't look specifically different for you guys, but we had overall 207 total calls, which was up about 50 than from what we normally do, and financially it was a strong month for us. 22 emergent transfers, 7 non-emergent, again less than a minute for dispatch to en route, 1 fire standby, 2 deaths, 23 refused transport, and 1 mutual aid intercept, 3 PR events. PR events will slow down. Obviously, we can't go anywhere right now, and no place wants us. So, but other than that, April's numbers are starting out pretty slow. We are only really seeing people who truly need an ambulance, to be honest with you. The mamas who have their babies at home and the little boy gets clocked in the head with the baseball bat. The people that are being weekend warriors outside up on ladders, falling off and hurting themselves. So, and then of course your shortness of breaths or people that believe that they're exposed to COVID. So not really seeing a lot of misuse of the system. Been working together with dispatch really well and getting some pre-screening questions, knowing so that we know our people are safe going in. If at all possible, people are being asked to meet us on the porch, so that we don't have to go into the home and expose everybody going into the home. And that seems to be being received well from the public. There was supposed to be a some sort of recording today or Facebook Live recording of ESDA, Edgar County Public Health Department, and the Horizon Health CNO, but that has been canceled because Jill is ill, so we're postponing that. But some of those questions would be things that we would address in there that the public need to know. As far as PPE goes for EMS, they have all they need at this point in time. There's not anything that we are limiting or restricting them on. Of course, we're being good stewards of what we have because we're making sure that we're in this for the long haul. ESDA has worked really well with us. We asked for a PPE drop. They were able to solicit businesses in other local areas. I know Jill has put an order into the state for some PPE, but they have been able to supply what we need. The number one thing that we don't have a big bulk of right now is hand sanitizer, but we have soap and water. So what other questions can I answer for you as far as either EMS or Horizon Health COVID response?
If you treat a person and don't take them anywhere, is there a charge for that?
No.
Okay, good.
We get several diabetic calls a month where the person believes their sugar dropped and somebody called an ambulance for them. We get there, check their blood sugar. If they refuse treatment, then there's no charge for that.
Good.
Further questions?
Your back in service time is impressively improved. Is there something that tied to that?
There is. So per direction of Dr. Smith and Carl Regional EMS, patients are not to be transported outside of the county right now unless they meet some of those direct criteria, so if they're having a heart attack, if they are a level 1 trauma, those types of things, they are all to come to our hospital and then be triaged because Carl's getting full, Regional's getting full, Union's getting full, and you don't want to cross-contaminate taking people into other counties. So we can control our emergency department, we can't control what other emergency departments are, and then we're back in that ambulance sooner and it's ready to go versus driving 55 miles back from Carl. That, you know, that takes a little bit, so.
What was, I mean, I don't have, you don't have the other one on here.
I didn't print it for you.
It's fine. What,
We were at like 71% coming to the hospital this month.
what's, normally it's like below 50, right?
Yeah, it's below 50. But we haven't really had anybody, I've had to deal with one person that was upset about it, and it was her husband does dialysis, but he had chose to not go to dialysis all week. So, you know, there has to be some ownership there too on that piece of it, but again, he was brought to our hospital, he was evaluated, we contacted his nephrologist, and the nephrologist says, yeah, I need to see him, send him to me, and so we sent him to him. I'll do a bill adjustment so they won't get two, but
No other complaints?
not that I have received right now.
Jeff earlier said that, talking about the testing, is that being done at the hospital clinic?
Mhm.
Is that the only place that is testing now?
Correct, yeah.
You don't have the moving up, the Abbott that's quicker.
No, we had put our order in for the Abbott machine back in February, but I will tell you, almost every one of those Abbott machines will go to McCormick Place. We won't see a single one downstate.
What is it?
The Abbott, the point
Yes,
of
a
care,
quick
the
one.
little blood, they prick your finger and you get a
Yeah,
positive or negative within 15 minutes
right.
versus the nasal swab that they're doing now.
48-hour response or whatever it is.
7
Is it-
days.
Is it me, or does it seem like the tests, though, that you're getting are coming back a little bit more quickly? Just in the last few days, it seems like.
Maybe. I will tell you, there's a lot of publications out there right now. Our hospital administration has received calls that there's a lot of false negatives coming out. And so it's still the guidance that you treat everybody as if they have it. It doesn't change their treatment regimen, their supportive care, quarantine at home, and only admit those that are really sick that we can try to turn around.
Thanks, Sam.
Any other questions for me?
I wasn't at the last meeting, and I was reading where Scott Barrett, something, he said the contract was coming up with the hospital, and there was an issue with, you guys were taking some of their space or something.
Not us, maintenance. So
Okay.
we have the back pole barn now,
Right, well, it says
And-
Horizon
but
ambulance,
well, that's
okay,
not
but
what he
anyway,
meant, but yeah, his garage is shared 2
Right.
stalls with maintenance.
right,
And then his stall, and he would like a temporary wall put between,
did that get taken care of?
I got the okay on it, I can get with Scott,
All right,
tell him that the hospital agreed that probably is a good thing to put the wall up.
okay, all right, I just saw that, and I just wondered if that had been addressed.
Anything else for Sam? Thank you for being here.
yeah.
Sure you got plenty to do, huh?
I probably will not be here Wednesday, so if anybody has anything, Adam may come if he has time, but I.
We understand.
Yeah.
We understand. Thank you very much. Okay. I think we've covered most of the items on the agenda under the highway department, so you want to talk about the airport for a minute?
Specifically the.
I don't know. Do you know anything as far as, we've got to put on the agenda approving Hanson as engineering firm for
So
us.
we're a little behind the 8 ball on that. We're not aware of any specific timelines, but, so we did get 2 bids for the engineering firm to handle our airport issues, Hanson and another one. So I was on board with Hanson continuing. Anybody have any issues with that, we'll actually do a vote at the next board meeting, but just wanted to straw poll on that so I can converse with Barry if needs be on that.
Who was the other engineering that bid?
I can't honestly even tell you, I saw it, but.
Not one anybody is familiar with her.
No, I mean, they had, a similar binder to Hanson, but, I've been pleased with Hanson thus far, and they have a history with the airports and know what's going on, so, barring, and they don't quote prices or anything like that in there, so, that was my take, was just to continue as we have, so, just wanna make sure there weren't any questions or concerns from anyone else. I can get you,
I'm okay, I just was wanting to flush it out a little bit, I mean, if Hanson's been good to work with so far, and there's no big price difference.
well,
At this point that we know of,
It's just
yeah.
pre-qualification kind of deal.
Yeah, yeah, so, I think they're both qualified, but, so, if there is some issue, we may have to have a special meeting to get that approved, but I doubt we'll do that, so, just FYI.
Question. Once again, I wasn't at the last board meeting, but I was reading the minutes that the advisory board brought up about a hangar lease that's coming up in June, into this month, well, this summer. So what's the status on that? Have you talked with Tom or?
So we're gonna put a clause in there and make sure he's aware of it.
Okay.
And we'll probably just put it in everybody's that, they are there at the, goodwill of the airport itself, so if they, at any time, they cross a line, we can kick them out.
Be still gonna give him a hanger?
So,
We do have 2 on the waiting list, right? So I understand.
that's what I heard, yeah.
Okay. Andy?
Things have slowed down a little, mainly because of the COVID virus. The guys are outside putting the gate or the fence up around the air conditioning unit right now. They want to come in and take all the air conditioning units out. I thought they were gonna get the 2 out of the courtroom. I talked to Stacy earlier, or late last week, and talked like he was gonna get them out, but he hadn't, so, the jail is moving right along, looks good, looks real good, I think. I stopped in Saturday and looked at it, and supposedly the lighting, I think they should be done enough with the painting to be able to put the lighting in the old part of the downstairs jail. This 14th or something like that, middle of the month.
14th.
And hopefully we can get some of this, everything kind of wrapped up within the next, like I said, this thing has slowed down. I mean, they want to come in and do some work, and I don't have a problem at all if people aren't comfortable with them being around doing some of the stuff that they want to do, but so it may stretch it out a little bit. Their completion date was what it was. It may set maybe another month into the future. Depends on what happens with the virus, but other than that.
So there's still some painting that needs to be done?
And that's not part of Smart Watts.
Right.
Yes,
Let's, back in the old part,
back in the old ones.
the old cell.
And there's still some painting to be done in the newer part, because they still have to
They
cut.
gotta cut those, what they call chuck holes in the doors, and then they gotta paint the doors. Other
But
than that, I mean, if they can get those in, that won't take long to finish that new part of it.
And they still gotta paint a few showers.
Paint some showers.
And
That's a pretty, offensive smelling stuff, so they kinda wanna do it. I take it they wanna wipe it out in one day and then be done with that stuff. It's kind of a really intense epoxy.
It's a different
Yeah,
stuff with the
it's got,
shower.
it smells.
the old jail, you walk up the stairs, and the ceilings in the
All
cells,
the cells.
it's amazing.
It is.
It is just amazing how they've done those.
He actually came in and welded angle iron all around the top, and then make panels and set them down there, because he was trying to patch some of the old metal, and it just kept blowing through, which means it's really, really thin from water leaking down. Well, since we don't.
over the years.
Well, yeah, since there isn't gonna be anybody up there now, you put panels in and welded them in, it looks really nice.
And do they paint the gridded, like the cage, they
They're,
paint all that
they're,
too?
yeah, and they're not
They
rolled,
haven't
you know,
done it yet.
they brushed and rolled all the new part of the downstairs jail, but this one, they're masking everything off because of the way that it's gridded like that, they're air spraying, got us spraying everything.
Got it. And then, is all that new plumbing stuff done? Do they get that fixed in the
That's
old
all
jail?
done. All the plumbing's done.
It's pretty nifty.
Yeah.
Nifty? I'm from the
That sounds
50s, I
official.
guess.
911 is not moving, or somebody asked me the other day.
That issue, and Carl can speak to it too, but we're gonna have a meeting, we were supposed to have a meeting to discuss some of those issues. We're just keeping an open mind to see what they're talking about. They may not. We don't know.
Somebody asked me, I didn't know how to answer it. so-
But we'll come to the
When you say
board and
moving, they're not moving out of the building, they
No,
want to
move back to the other.
move back to
right,
the
Right,
new
That's what
addition,
somebody
is
asked
what
me.
they're wanting to do
okay.
because of issues and because of equipment, you know, this new next-gen equipment that is coming sometime this year, that possibly they think there might be a problem putting all equipment in the current radio room.
I didn't know how to answer that. so-
Well, we're gonna have a meeting at some point whenever the things,
If they do move, is that gonna require us to move our new equipment from the upgrade and cameras and monitors and stuff, is all that in that room as well?
possibly. Yeah.
About the 25,000 they pay us every quarter, we would not get that, right? Doesn't 911 pay us so much every quarter,
They pay
the rent or something?
40, I think it's 40-some% of the total cost for
But we
dispatching.
would not get that.
they haven't said anything about not giving that to us.
No,
That would be, I guess, one of the things we'd have to talk about.
right.
Who knows?
Things are up in the air right now.
We're just trying to approach it from see what they've got, go from there. Let you know. Anything else, Sandy? Yes, John?
I don't know if it's exactly the right spot, but just piggyback while we're talking about the improvements on the jail outside of the facilities. How is everything else going as far as trying to get it open back up, or have we heard anything?
On the jail,
Yeah,
once they get it painted, we get the lights in, we're pretty close. And like I said, the lights will be in the middle of the month.
it's just a matter of getting it inspected and,
Getting, there's a
We've got to have everything.
decent amount of cleaning
Done.
needs to be done.
Yeah.
For example, we need shower curtains in all the showers. They're a special type. Those need to be hung. I mean, everything from A to Z needs to
be
be done.
done before.
We can't have an inspection go, well, we're gonna do that next week.
No, I
I'm just,
totally agree, yeah, I just,
So the big piece there is, we know generally what the staffing requirements are gonna be for this inspection, or have at least some sort of idea.
yes, they'll accept the staffing we currently have. They understand from Jeff Weber, has assured us that they understand that we cannot be fully staffed until after we pass our inspection. We're not gonna commit to hire staff and then not pass the inspection and we'd be stuck with staff,
Right.
okay? It's that simple. One of the things I will tell you is most of our prisoners are now being placed where now, Carl?
Crawford,
Crawford, and that's an hour roughly,
45 minutes.
45 minutes
50
each
minutes.
way. We have nobody in Coles County that I saw up on the board.
One in Cumberland, the rest of them are all in Crawford.
Right. So,
Does the white van ever leave the lot? It's sitting down there where those cars that was gonna,
They've utilized it some, I don't know how often they utilize it, but
the cars was gonna move out to the county garage.
Some of those
That's
have
Some
all.
of them are gone.
some of them are gone.
I know.
Yeah, I noticed that too, yeah.
Now, there's some Generac or
Right.
some generators out there that still haven't been moved, but a lot of the debris and some of the cars. I think there's what, one car left or two?
One or two, that old purple truck's still sitting there too.
So,
Gotten rid of it. It looks a lot better.
yeah.
Mm,
Get rid of all that miscellaneous junk behind the garage and put it even better. So, and Aaron said he had a place, he goes, I got a place board out there, if you just need to put it, it's well, what do you call that one? Somebody stole them and now
It's being held for evidence.
Right, it's still being held, so.
One of these days, we're gonna have stolen and we'll be looking for it again.
Stolen twice. Somebody stole it.
And the health department with Smart Watt is,
They're on hold right now.
right,
She really doesn't want anybody, I guess they're locked down, they don't even take anybody in there, so. That's one thing that may put things back a little, is that being closed, it's just, it is what it is, a lot of stuff closed right now.
They had a meeting a couple weeks ago, they were over there working. Somebody was working, and they
Yeah.
make a lot of noise.
So,
all right. Thanks, Sandy. A heads up on this windmill, we need to form a plat committee from the board. We need 3 board members on that plat committee, so if you have an interest, that committee would have some ex officio members such as Dina and Aaron. The health department would be Janet. There would be non-voting people, but they would be on the board for discussions. The reason for the committee is when we do receive applications, that the committee would review those applications and recommend, once they've done their due diligence, either a deny or approve on an application. So if any of you, if you would, let me know that you would like to possibly serve on that. I've talked to John,
I can serve on it.
I know, and
I missed the first part, what's it for again?
for the windmills.
Okay.
Basically,
Windmill
if
app.
somebody puts an application in for a windmill, we need a committee to yay or nay it.
I can do that as well, I think.
Okay.
I can do it, so.
Okay, we'll get that on the May meeting to get folks appointed. Hopefully, we'll get things going on that. I told John, and with this other thing going on, as soon as we can, and get some of that stuff reviewed, or get it out of review, we can start passing the ordinance down to some of you guys to start taking a look at it. And I was at the point, I know John was interested, so we had talked about that. So I think as soon as we can, that Aaron was gonna invite you guys, or specifically you at this point, to come out there and review that. So
Yeah,
that,
yeah, just have him get a hold of me.
he knows, it's just we've been kinda tied up with the Coles County situation with the jail, so. Anyway, anything else, guys? Yes, sir.
I guess this is the point for it. Just going off of Gary's article on the paper with the Northern Edgar County Ambulance Service and us having to set up a district, what's our move?
Okay, they called me last week, and my suggestion was based on what the state's attorney and their attorney, John Morris, it's in their court to now meet and pass a resolution with unanimous support from that district. At that point, then they need to have, once that happens, then John will give us a resolution to pass. Then they have to do a 60-day notice in order to have a public hearing at which any landowners and or voters voters would have the opportunity to come to a public meeting and voice their opinions and hear about what the plans are. At that point, after the public hearing, they would have 60 days, if say like a group of people were opposed to it, to circulate a petition where they would have to get at least 51 or 1/2 of all the voters and or landowners. And if they got a petition signed by over 1/50%, then they could stop it and nothing could be done for 2 years. But that is totally up to that group up there, is to organize the townships to take care of that job. Now, they may come to Augie and ask for mailing lists and so forth, but it's not our job to circulate or do those notifications. That has to be done by that group.
So basically, they have to do all the legwork and then they'll bring it to us at some point in the future and.
Then once that's all done, then it comes to us, and then we'll go form a committee and come up with how we were gonna bid it and the specifications, and then put it out for bid, and then have it have it done, and then also do a levy before November, the end of November, so a levy's available for the following year, and then bid it out at some point in there, okay?
So everything has to be done before November,
Yes,
or you're waiting another year.
that's correct.
Our
We
main
have to at
job
least
for-
have I'm sorry,
Our
what?
main job would be to bid it out, right?
Right, it's still the board's job to bid it out.
Okay.
And to levy it, I mean.
Yes.
It's pretty important that we get the levy large enough to cover the bid.
Yeah.
Yep,
And I assume that they're going to, in all their meetings and stuff, when they come to us, tell us what they're wanting.
well, and that's part of the committee. I think we would form a committee like with, for example, Derek went through the last one
Right.
with several people, like Kevin Julian, a couple people from up there that have been intimately involved with it since the beginning, and then we could come up with the criteria on which to bid. Okay? I think that would be only right.
So are you saying it's gonna be on this November's? Is that what you're trying to get it on, done by this November?
Yeah, because we have to know what they want, and if they're gonna proceed, and if there aren't 50% plus one, we have to have a levy ready by
Right,
the
that's-
end of November.
Yeah, but I guess that's, yeah.
Actually, by the 1st of November,
I was
that
gonna
levy
say,
has to be
what are the-
introduced
we
then.
Probably ought to give them some deadlines.
I have already,
Yeah, okay.
the thing that's screwing it up right now is the COVID and getting everybody together.
Yeah, having a public meeting's a bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
But, yes, they're aware that they've got to meet. The first step they've got to do is unanimously approve, because all that referendum was an advisory. It didn't authorize anything.
Right.
John, does that?
That answers it, yeah.
Yeah,
just
and
wanted to make sure
that's
that
to
we
the
weren't-
best of my, I could be wrong about that fine point or that, but generally that's what's gotta happen.
Well, I knew you were on top of what's going on up in that area pretty well, I just wanted to.
Yeah, the
I
ball's
don't
in
wanna
their
be
court right
accused
now.
of snoozing and messing them up.
No, but there will be a point at which we can pass a resolution, which is probably all we need to have in order to develop a levy, and it's 20 cents per hundred. Okay, we can't go over 20 cents per hundred on the equalized assessed value up there. And then, a lot of other things can happen after that, okay? Anything else? I don't think we need a closed session for anything, do we, guys?
Just a quick update, we're fine on passing that next month for the.
Oh, yeah.
Bid, and then, the, newest iteration of our project to bid is just the resurfacing of the taxiway.
Right.
And that goes April 24th.
Oh, it's April 24th is when that is? I don't know why I thought it was early April, what the hell?
Yeah, I thought it was.
Thank you, I'm sorry. I lose track of dates. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Oh,
I
what?
got a question. How's things going here at the courthouse, Augie? As far as business and everything?
Well, I think pretty well. I haven't heard anything negative. Obviously, there's nobody coming into the courthouse, so, other than by appointment.
Mhm.
I know it's very limited upstairs and, as far as traffic, but so far, I mean, we're still working, you know, a lot of it's appointment or mail, internet, so.
Did you have anything else you needed to report on?
I don't think so, wasn't supposed to, do you know?
No, I just wanted to, I didn't wanna get the meeting over and you go, thanks for calling on me.
No, I'm good.
I did check on this paycheck plan through SBA to see if the county was eligible. No. Just thought, what the heck? Doesn't hurt anything to check, okay?
But they're already out of money, right?
No,
Kind of
no, they're not, but
Okay.
it's kinda, they bifurcated the darn thing and everybody that applied this weekend, they've frozen new, you like that? New applications cannot be, till after the 15th now, so.
Two ply or one ply? Figures.
Motion to adjourn, please.
So,
You got that?
Yes.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Right.
Opposed, nay. Thank you, gentlemen.